One last Monday in 2024, one last trip out with the camera before we welcome in the new year. Around this time last year, I produced a similar video sharing my plans and my resolutions for the year ahead. For this video, I thought, why not revisit that same spot, a fitting way to reflect on the past year and dive into my vision for 2025. But as you can see, things haven't exactly gone to plan. The fog has rolled in and the location I had in mind, whilst perfect for some final shots to close out 2024, just won't work in this weather. Still, that is the beauty of photography, isn't it? We work with what we've got. New Year resolutions, they're always a thing around this time of the year, aren't they? Over the years ago, I always used to say to myself, I'm going to join the gym. Yeah, that used to go well. Join a gym, you get really into it, get really focused, you'd commit to it. I'd commit to it for about a month, and then I wouldn't bother going again. You spend all that money and you think, well, what's the point? See, I don't think there's any point in me trying to do anything like that as a New Year resolution, not in that regard. I'm not one to smoke. Maybe I should stop drinking. I say that like I'm a bit of an alcoholic. I barely drink at all anyway, so there's no point in me having that as a New Year's resolution either. I decided that if I was going to have a New Year's resolution, it was going to be photography related. I was going to get out with the camera more. When I did a similar video to this one, this time last year, I said to myself, I'm going to head out to new locations. I'm going to head out to the locations I've always wanted to visit, but for some reason have never managed to get out to. Leeds Castle, that's the biggest example that I can relate to in that regard. Always wanted to visit there, but for some reason it's always somewhere that I always put off. Always found a reason to go elsewhere. Thought to myself, no, I'm going to head there this year, and in September time, I should say, finally got myself out there. And yeah, looking back on 2024, that is one of the big highlights. So what will the resolution be for 2025? What are my photography plans for the year ahead as it fast approaches and is just over 48 hours away at the time of this release? Maybe I could adopt one of those photography challenges you see that you read up on the internet about, like a 365 or a 52-week photography challenge. You know, the ones that I mean where you have to take a different image every day for a year or every week for a year. Like week 1 you've got to find something purple to shoot, week 2 diamonds, week 3 paper. I suppose it's a good way to make photography a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. Yeah, it's a little bit of a challenge because I suppose for paper, what you've got to think about, okay, what's the composition going to be, what's the subject going to be. I suppose I could shoot a newspaper at a different angle. All good fun, of course, but I think it comes back to the gym membership idea where I'd probably get a little bit too bored. I'd lose interest after a little while. I'd do it for a month and then I'd get distracted and I'd do something else. Maybe I could challenge myself compositionally in a different way. Shoot everything I see in a square format. Something a bit like that. Is that square? Yeah, something a bit like that. And it would be a good way, okay, instead of having this grand vista that you get to shoot, you've got to shoot everything in square. So you just got to think a little bit more about how you set up the camera, how you set up the tripod. Something I tried to do actually a couple of years ago. I thought I'd do it for a year and I got distracted again. I got bored doing it. Maybe I'll try again this year, rather than doing it for a full year though, rather than do it for a full year. Maybe I'll do it for a month. No, I think my New Year's resolution is going to be quite predictable, quite boring in some regard. You see, I'm quite an organised person. When I think about going out with the camera, I've got a Google Maps page where I've got pins on every location where I've been to. So if I want to go out somewhere that I've been to, I can have a look around and think, oh, I'll go there, I'll go there. And what I've noticed from looking at that recently is the fact there's still so many parts here in Kent that I've not been to yet. My resolution for 2024 was to explore new areas, and there's still large parts of the map down here in Kent, neighbouring Sussex, neighbouring Surrey, that I've never been to as yet. So I think my resolution for 2025 is going to be very much the same as what it was for 2024. Get out, explore new locations around me, take you along for the ride, challenge myself with new compositions, new locations that I've never been to, so I don't know what I'm going to find, if I'm going to find anything at all, and just have fun in the process, really. Of course, there will be car camping trips as well. Where I go though remains to be seen. Back to the Peak District again, or perhaps South Wales and the Brecon Beacons await this year. I'm undecided yet. I might do another mini project, visiting one location and capturing it over the course of the 4 seasons, or see how a scene can change over the course of a few hours instead. What do we reckon? What do we reckon? One more image, couple more images to see out 2024, go home, put my feet up, see you in the new year, start my photographic journey in 2025, see if I can keep to the resolution that I'm setting myself once again. Managed to stick to it, I think, in parts in 2024. Could have been better. This boat graveyard, for example, been a while since I travelled out to this location. I think it was March actually when I came out here. I actually thought the last time I came out here that sunset would be a great time to visit this spot, especially in the summer months. Sun would be setting just over in the distant backgrounds, really light up this graveyard. We can make all these grand plans though, can't we? I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. For whatever reason, they just don't happen at times. Maybe 2025, come back out here for sunset if I can remember. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the conditions that I've got today, in all honesty. Not been able to get out to the location that I wanted to, but coming back out here with kind of this fog, this mist that's lingering in the distant background and all around, almost suits the location where I am today, especially with all these with all these boats, wrecks lying around on the riverbanks. But I think the last couple of images for 2024, and then it might be worth calling it a day. And I think on that note, that is where I'm going to end this video, and that is where I'm going to bring my YouTube journey to an end for 2024. Where has the year gone? But Christ, it has been a really fun experience. I've enjoyed bringing you along for the journey. I can't wait to see what 2025 brings us. But until then, you take care of yourselves. Have a happy new year. I'll see you next year, but for now, it's goodbye.